This is Boxes and Briefs, a podcast with real-life business stories. But we will be asking the hard questions and challenging traditions. So broaden your thinking with fresh perspectives and solve problems for business success. Welcome to another episode of Boxes and Briefs. My name's Lisa.
I'm Kelly.
And today with us we have Clint. Hello.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Very welcome. Very interesting topic for this one. So Clint Griffin is a strategic communications consultant with nearly 3 decades, you don't look that old,
Gosh, I'm old, yeah.
experience working with global giants like Walmart and Unilever, and now he helps Kiwi businesses develop winning communication strategies. That sounds
impressive,
fancy.
doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we wanted to talk to you about the difference between thought leadership and personal brand, because they really do seem to be all kind of one thing.
Yeah.
So teach us, what are they?
So, thought leadership is a topic that you know really well, you know, and you talk about that. So, of all the things we do, there's something that you kind of got to deep dive into, right? If you're a lawyer, there's something about that you know contract law, you know litigation, or you know whatever, right?
Yep.
If you're an accountant, you know about tax, or you know about this. And the area that you know a lot about is the area where you're going to tell your thought leadership, right? It's like it's kind of deep. Now, the personal brand is bigger than that because personal branding is about the whole thing about you. So you can talk about your law or your whatever it is, but it's everything about you, the way you dress, the way you speak, the words you use, the things you have that tell the difference between you and someone else. Donald Trump always wears a red tie. Notice that. Always a story, right?
Now I am.
Yeah. You know.
I was distracted by the
No,
orange
I did
thing.
notice that.
And,
Yeah.
and it's all like it's a one get up. And that's the idea of the personal brand. So everything about you, the way that you communicate all the time, the consistency of you is important. It's everything you do is the personal brand. So you can be great at thought leadership. You can be a terrible person. Right?
That's terrible.
That's true. But you could also be a great person who's terrible at thought leadership. But the thing is, the two are quite distinct. You know,
Okay. Yeah.
If you align being the person you want to be, and I think that comes down to finding your truth, all kind of woo-woo stuff, but it is. If you find your truth and you find your purpose and you align that with the thing you're really good at,
Yes.
and tell that deeply, then you've got a good personal brand and you've got good thought leadership.
So authenticity then is quite important to...
It's really important.
Yeah.
If you want to be a thought leader, you've also got to really care about something because you've got to find the little thing that no one else knows. And so you've got to get into it, right? You've got to be into that stuff and look it up and find out. And
Do the research.
otherwise, you're just kind of using ChatGPT,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which ain't thought leadership. It's never going to be... The thing is to find the insight.
Yes.
Finding an insight every week is quite difficult. Just come up with it.
Yeah.
You can't wing that.
No, you can't. And I would say today that most people do muddle those two things up, right?
They do, yeah.
They'll
yeah.
try and be all things to all people.
Like, do something that you know really well to a level. I don't do that because I do strategy, and strategy is everything. So I know a little bit about a lot of things. So I can talk to those things to get people excited about maybe I need this or maybe I need that. But I'm never professing to be a thought leader in those spaces.
Right.
Like, you know, that's different. I'm a thought leader across things.
Okay.
But if I need something deep, I find it professional.
Well, a lot of business owners struggle to put themselves out there. Call it
Yeah.
imposter syndrome, confidence, whatever you want, time to do it.
Yeah.
So what's your advice for those who are uncomfortable with self-promotion, personal brand or thought leadership?
So don't think about it like it's self-promotion. I think that's where we get stuck, right? There's a reason, hopefully, that we do what we do. Those of us that are fortunate enough to do what we do it for a reason.
Right.
And it's normally, I would hope, in service of others, right? Whatever you're doing, there's always a service factor to that. And so if you're doing thought leadership or you're doing your personal brand to help cement why you should be listened to, the thing you're doing is actually serving other people. You're giving them knowledge about things that they don't know.
It's true.
And if you do that, then you're not really self-serving. You're serving the greater community. So just drop the nonsense about it's all about you.
Well, I guess a common strategy is like, okay, well, we want to get this product or service out there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to put myself up on a stage or in front of a microphone. I'm going to have to do things to get this product or service out there. So it is a business strategy
Totally.
to raise your profile.
Yeah.
But you're saying in service to others.
It's in service to others. So if you're worried about, because like there's 4 different reasons to not do it. I've got no time and I'm scared, but I'm going to say it's no time, or I don't have the energy, I'm scared, or whatever, right? Don't think about it like that. If you think about the reason that you do it, the reason you get up every morning, that gives you a motivation to do it. And then all the other stuff falls away. You know?
So I guess it's the servitude is from the product or service.
Yeah.
You've created that product or service to be in service for something, someone, some problem.
Someone needs to know what you've got to say. Don't think you.
So putting yourself out there is just a strategy to get that service in front of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what do you do then, like, even if maybe you do have stuff to offer, but in here you don't believe you maybe have that level of expertise?
I come across
or
that all
knowledge?
the time. Do you?
Imposter syndrome.
More like you think what you know is just everybody knows it.
Yeah, they don't.
And they don't.
Yeah. So how do you get over that? Start talking.
Yeah.
Start talking to
You'll
people and you
soon find
realise,
out.
hold on,
Yeah.
they don't know.
They don't know.
No.
Yes.
I used to be, and I'm still very good at glossing over things because I assume, and I see the
Yeah.
look and the head tilt, you know?
Yes.
Like, they don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, I need to go through it. And over years, you realise they don't know what I'm talking about. That's cool. Okay, I'll explain some more. So do that. That's what people want, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think LinkedIn has definitely become a platform for thought leadership, right?
It has.
Yeah, it's saturated with it. So how do you help your clients find their unique voice or their unique angle to not be that, to actually provide those amazing insights?
So the thing about it is we all know in our professions and the things we do, we all know similar things.
Yeah.
Okay.
There'll be a base of similar.
There's always a base, right? The thing that differentiates every business is the way it's done, and that comes down to the people, right? Call it culture, call it whatever you want. That's the thing that you kind of need to tease out of people, because there's 1,000, strategists in New Zealand. Great, I happen to do it in my own way, so I'll tell that story. There's 1,000 plumbers in Auckland.
Yep.
They happen to do it in their own way. Are they really great at communicating? Are they terrible communicators, but they're really good at just being a plumber?
Yep.
Tell the story that you're good at, and then the people that want that will get it from you. He's a really annoying person, but what a great plumber. He's not going to say a word to you, but he's going to get the job done.
Yeah.
Be that person.
Yep.
Podcast's going to be pretty short, I guess. Hello, bye. But the point is be authentic.
Yes. Yep.
That's what I try and get out of people.
Nobody can be you but you.
No, don't try, because then it's awkward.
Yeah.
Very awkward.
Excellent. All right, give me a success story. Something where you've transformed someone's personal brand into genuine thought leadership, or one or the other.
So I had a client who was a restaurateur.
Okay.
Front of house, owned the business, and came to me for advice around how to market the business.
Okay.
And really exciting because food's cool, right? Photograph it, it's yummy, you can smell it, you can see it, it's all visual.
Oh yeah, I'm a big
Samples.
foodie, so
Yeah. And it's like, wow, this thing, why can't you do this? And it was a really high-end brand, lovely food with really good patrons. And I taught the person how to become the voice of that, and how to become how to elevate the restaurant from being a really good restaurant with lots of really good reviews to there's the visual proof of it, and here's the stories. And we realized through that journey that she wasn't a restaurateur, she's a connector of people.
Okay.
Yeah, because she's like, I'm good at this, but I'm also, why do people come? They like the food, but they also like the fact that you know this person and you know this person. And there's something happening on Sunday, so let's have cocktails, but I'm going to invite these particular people to this event. So she kind of went, yeah, okay. Restaurant was the vehicle that I used to be the thing that I really am, which is a connector.
Yeah.
And so that changed the way that she looked at the world.
Okay.
It changed too. So now they don't run a restaurant anymore. She's now a marketing expert in Sydney.
Oh.
Yeah, but just kind of thinking from being a restaurateur to thinking this is actually not it. It's about connecting.
Recognizing that it was a vehicle only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that changed everything about the way that she does stuff. And you can take the lessons from restaurants. If you want to be in a restaurant game, that's as crazy as being in advertising.
No, that sounds so hard.
Terrifying.
Yep.
If you can do that, you can do anything.
yeah.
It's like talking to children. If you can do that, you can talk to anyone. So, yeah, I think that's a really good success story. You know?
Yeah.
And I think also if you can find a way to be that you can do a caricature of yourself. So if someone can do a little
Doing the
sketch.
head tilt.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about, the sketches of people where they always kind of find an element of you that's big,
Oh,
like
yeah.
big
And
ears,
they
big
input
nose,
it.
Yeah.
bald head, glasses, whatever. If you can find that, if you can have one of those done and everyone knows who you are, then you've probably got that personal brand right. And you've developed something that would work. So think of Donald Trump again. The big tie would be part of it, and the weird hair and the orangeness, right?
Yep.
So particular glasses, particular way of dressing, a style to it. They'd all kind of developed from this. So this became a person that was a networker, a connector of people, all around the idea of, I kind of should be a marketing person. You put that package together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where personal brands are important.
Interesting.
Boxes and Briefs is proudly brought to you by Gilligan Shepherd, the problem solvers in business.
Okay, Clint, what are the biggest mistakes that people make when they're trying to establish themselves as a thought leader?
They take themselves too seriously, right? It sounds weird, and it sounds like contradictory, but nothing in the world is that serious, right? Unless you're a heart surgeon, you're not there. You're not saving lives, right? So drop it and just go for the essence. Go for the things that are important. Make your personality shine, right? And when you do that, you find the little nuggets that people want to know about. But if you're very serious about everything, it's boring as well. You don't come across very well.
Okay, so you can't be a thought leader unless you're entertaining?
You don't have to be entertaining, but you don't have to be serious. There's a difference,
Personality.
right? Yeah,
Where are we going? Humour.
It doesn't even have to be humour. Some people aren't funny. They're funny peculiar, but they're not funny. But they don't have to be like righteous all the time. Just drop it. Just be yourself.
Okay.
Take the veneer off it, because no one wants that.
Yeah, that does go along with the whole fake it till you make it, like when you're trying to speak it or write it and they just don't align. When people know you and then they see the person who's talking or writing, there's a disconnect, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. Yeah. I got some feedback the other day about my little email that I do every week, and they said that they can hear me speaking through the email.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
That's what
got
you
that
want.
right.
Yeah. All right, so return on investment, ROI. Thought leadership, you're a business owner, you're trying to break into that game, be the person in that product, service, industry, whatever.
Ta-da! Yep.
How do you measure that kind of investment? Because it takes time.
You just stole it. That's exactly it. You're not going to do a piece on thought leadership today and have people knocking down your door tomorrow. The phone's not going to ring, the email's not going to go, your website's not going to go crazy. It's a long tail thing, right?
Okay.
So the things to measure are, what's the engagement like? You might have one person engage in the first thing you do, but what is the quality of that? Do they get what you meant? And what questions are they asking? Does it relate to it? Or what is the comment about? And see how those build over time. Go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. That's a way to measure it, right? See what that looks like in terms of return from them engaging on a piece on LinkedIn to hits on your website. See how you show up in search. Look at social mentions and see how many times you show up and things. And then go and poke yourself into other people's conversations as well. Be that guy that kind of stands and goes, hello, excuse me, I've got something to say about that. So measure it in that way, measure it upon engagement. And that comes down to sometimes you end up with people trusting you even if they haven't met you.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I know you. That you're the person that does that stuff. I've been meaning to ask you when I met you about this.
Yes.
Then okay, thank God, yeah.
And you have to write it down, otherwise you won't remember that conversation to call it a metric. That's what happens a lot. Any kind of marketing that you do, right? If you don't say the question, how did you hear about us or how did you find us? You'll never know what it was that worked.
No, you won't. And be careful with metrics as well. Don't do the vanity ones, likes and all those kind of things.
Impression.
So what? I mean, you could have an impression by, farting in public badly, and that's great for fun, but it's not really good for your brand.
You mean you can fart
Apparent? Goodly, yeah, probably. The point is you can do something stupid and you get lots of impressions.
Right.
Look at TikTok. Lots of people do stupid things on there. It's not about that.
Yeah.
So don't use those metrics. Look at engagement.
Yes.
Look at comments. Look at the referral that you get from people, where they come from. Have they heard about you?
Yeah.
When you do meet someone and they do say, oh, yes, I've seen your stuff.
Yes.
That's something you should just note
the hit.
Just note it.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. So then it's a long tail game.
Long.
How much time do you have to put into it? Over what period of time?
So think about it like anything that you're going to do. So I believe in lifelong learning. I hope everyone else in the room does, because that's important, right? Everyone finished school and thought, I finished school, and then, oh, shit.
I know nothing.
I know nothing. And you finish uni and think, oh, I'm finished, and you realize you know nothing.
Yes.
So take the same approach. Because if you're going to be a thought leader, you're going to be a thought leader forever, aren't you? Because that's kind of the way it is.
Yep.
So you've got to start somewhere and get somewhere. Don't worry about the time. It's going to take a long time in the beginning, because you've got to kind of find the groove. It's like finding the thing that works. And when you found the thing that works, it becomes easier.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's probably going to take you a long time. Maybe sit with somebody who knows what they're doing and get some teasers out of them and say, well, how do I do this?
Yeah.
What's the thing? Help you find your spot. And then, a couple hours a week eventually will be that number once you set up. Because
Once you found the groove.
Once you found the groove, you'll be in the shower, you'll be doing something else, you'll think about an idea and think, that's the one I'm going to do this week.
Yep.
That's based on that. You have a client interaction or something goes wrong.
Yep.
That's the thing I'm going to talk about. And then that leads through to Friday afternoon at 2:30 when you're doing it. You go, that's what I'm going to talk about because I already know.
Yeah.
But up front, it takes a while.
Takes a while. Okay. So just know it's going to get easier and better the more you get comfortable with
It gets
it.
easier and easier. Better?
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah.
No,
Hopefully, yeah.
I can attest to that. Yep. Okay, so how do you see thought leadership evolving in the world of AI?
The big AI question, right?
Yes, the big
Yeah.
AI question. And social media, AI and social media as well.
So, do you remember the blockchain?
Vaguely.
Vaguely, right? Web3 was going to change the world and then it just disappeared,
Yeah.
right? So I'm not going to say AI is going to disappear, but AI is the blockchain of 2024, 25. It's the big thing everyone's talking about. And it's fantastic, but it's never going to give you something new. Okay, it's going to find the stuff that already exists and interpret it in a way that makes sense. So you can use it to write down a premise or an outline of something, ask it for topic questions, right? If you're clever, you can write stuff that you want in your voice and prompt it to write in the same style. It's pretty good at that.
Yep.
It's actually damn good at that.
If you know what to put
Yeah.
in.
If you know what to put in,
Yes.
right? So give it a tone and give it a style, give it 10 of your last things and say, I want you to write about, I don't know, whatever. It'll give you something close enough, but you've got to know what to ask it.
Yep.
You know, and AI is not going to change the world. If you go and ask it for a marketing plan, it's going to give you one.
Yep.
And ask for another one, it'll give you another one. But of those 10, they're pretty similar, right? Or anything in the world.
Yep. And if everybody's doing the same marketing plan, nobody's going to be different.
No one's going to be different. So AI is really cool as a tool.
Yeah.
And it's really good to help you find your feet if you're missing something on a certain angle. And I use it to sense check, you know. So if I'm doing like a webinar or some kind of seminar, I'm going, oh, this is the stuff I've got. Am I missing anything? And it goes, yes, you've missed that. Oh, man. I didn't think about that because I've been in this for 3 days writing up content and I've forgotten something important. Great for that.
Yeah.
So I don't see it as a place where AI is going to take over thought leaders. Like it's not going to take over creativity.
Well, it's not having the thought or the creativity.
No, it's not. It's not a creative tool,
Yeah.
you know.
Agree.
I
Okay.
think that's really the difference.
Any last piece of advice that you'd like to give our listeners around the topic?
Yeah, I think that everyone has something important to say. I really believe that, right? Because I think everybody's got a purpose to be here. I think there's one purpose that everybody has. This is going to sound weird, but I think the purpose is to inspire people. That's the only reason we live. You inspire someone every day of your life, or there's a person that you inspire you don't even realize, right? Walking down the street doing something. That's the underlying fundamental core of the purpose of everybody. So find your layer on top of that, right?
And there's Clint's thought leadership right there. That was amazing. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Well, it's been great having you.
Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed it.
No problem. If our listeners want to get in touch with you, how can they do that?
They can check out my website, refinery23.nz.
Okay.
Check me out on LinkedIn, Clint Griffin. Or there is a podcast out there, I think it's called reiterate.org.
Okay. All right. We'll make sure we put that in the show notes.
Yeah, nice one.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
See ya. Bye.
Boxes and Briefs is proudly brought to you by Gilligan Shepherd, the problem solvers in business.